We ready to go? Yeah? Okay. Good afternoon, everybody. You're welcome. Thank you for coming. I'm very excited about it. Also very nervous to welcome Mamela Nyamza. For some of you who don't know, the creative dialogues are part of the Art on Our Mind project. And we work with Bell Hooks Thinking, and we basically talk to artists, and then after that we create an archive of the artists so that the work that they are doing is accessible to anybody, young school students, university students, anybody. So that's really the aim of the project, and so we're very excited to have you here. Welcome, mate. I want to clap for you.
Good afternoon, everyone, and thank you for having me here. I don't know what to expect. You said I must be surprised, so I don't know about being surprised, but thank you for having me here. It's actually such a pleasure to be invited at home and talk about our works, because we hardly talk about our works at home. It's always happened outside of the country, so thank you for having me here. Okay. I'm happy. I'm nervous.
Okay, it's a safe space, Mamela, so feel free to talk from your heart. We'll start with how you grew up, and then we'll move through the trajectory. And then right at the end, and this is the best part for us, we have this really fast, quick, quirky questions. And that's the fun part, so don't feel uncomfortable, né? So, we ready to start?
Okay, I'm ready.
Okay, so you've grown up in Gugulethu in a large extended family with your grandmother as primary caregiver. Can you tell us a bit about your family life in Gugulethu, and then also which schools you attended?
Oh my God. Yeah, I grew up in Gugulethu, Cape Town, NY16. We used to call it Ekakiad. Yeah, right in Jujuletwa. I'm gonna go rap about it.
Yeah, please.
This is Gusty life, yeah? Gusty life, like anyone who grew up in the community. So, I mean, growing up during those times where it was in the, well, I don't hide my age.
No.
So, right in the 80s, even though I was born in the 70s, but that's when we used to play like Abon Ndize. And if you actually have seen my work, all my work come from that backyard situation. So that's why my work is about kak, yeah, and shit and all of that. So it comes from that neighborhood.
Okay.
And that neighborhood has actually made me the artist that I am today. Growing up with my grandmother as well, she's actually still my pillar. I feel like she's with me throughout, you know. I know sometimes we tend to think they don't accompany us, but they travel with us all the time, our ancestors. That is why we perform the work that we do, because they are the people who actually took us there to the ballet. I mean, she's the one who took the ballet school, so I feel like she's still taking care of me even today. Yeah.
Okay. Talk about the other creativities, the singing, the creativities in your childhood. Mm-hmm. What were those creativities that you experienced?
Well, I mean, kids these days, they only play in their gadgets. You know, we used to play on Disney, we used to play rounders, we used to play all the games that we need to play. Even at home, sometimes we play snake and ladder, you know? So it was like we used to play, we didn't have phones, we didn't have any of that. And all the games that I've used growing up, about hooks, you know, this culture, we play with them. The many games that we played, all of those games are actually my work. My work is actually created using games. Those are the games that actually were my tools for my work. All those tools became my creative tools from playing. Yes, my material. Yeah. So my material is vast. Did not come from your schools, no. It came from playing. Yes, not from your schools, because I don't know what they teach you.
Okay, and what's your earliest memory of dance? How did your love of dance get nurtured as you grew up?
Dancing was not something that I thought I was going to take as a career. I remember, we used to go to the beaches like the seaside only like the 25th, 26th, the 1st. So I was so young, I remember dancing in Simonstown. We used to go by train back in the days when we go to the beaches. So I I remember dancing in the middle of many people alone. You know, when you're a child and you can dance, we're so like flexible. So that was my first memory. I still remember that day. You know, it was actually Lion Rich. You know, Lion Rich song. You know, besides the Brenda Fassie songs as well, but those songs were the hit songs. You would dance in the middle and like, hello, and you just dance like an old, you know, like we had old souls because we used to follow our mothers dancing. So I think that's also why I have old soul with me in terms of me as Mamela.
Okay.
Yeah, I remember that memory. I was in the middle of people and I was dancing alone. Maybe no wonder I became a solo artist at some point. It started there. Okay. No one made me. Okay. They always claim us, isn't it? Yeah. They always claim us that we made you. No one. Yeah.
Okay. So how did you sorry, that is loud, sorry. Okay, I was not gentle. How did you come to encounter the Zama school books and Ali Vestergaard ballet classes?
Again, growing up in Gugulethu and attending a school in Gugulethu, the Songeze primary school, some of the kids there were attending in the Zama dance school, and I asked them, where is the Zama dance school? Actually, it was a church. It was a church, and I followed them, and I asked my granny, and my granny was like, what are you going to do there? I said, I don't know, but I want to go to and dance. So that's how it started. I just followed them. My grandmother took me there. She enrolled me. And I mean, those days we didn't speak English, you know, and there's this white woman. It's like, oh my God, she's white. I didn't know that she was going to be a white woman. And then I didn't know the music was going to be piano music. So everything was just a shock. I'm like, I thought I was going to dance to Brenda Fassie's music. This is not the dance that I expected. So this was me introduced to ballet. And I mean, it soothed me as a black girl from Gugulethu who actually also missed a mother, you know. My mom was absent in my life. I know many people will say fathers were absent. I had a mother who was absent. So that became like my attachment. I became so attached to it. I loved it. From that day onwards, it didn't stop. That was it. Yeah.
Okay. And then when did you realize that you could actually become a professional dancer and dance could actually be a career?
I didn't know about dance becoming a career, a profession those days. My ballet teacher was white, Aline Westergaard, who passed away last year. Was it last year? 2 years ago, I think. She told me that I could take a career, I should make this a career. And I think I tried UCT, they did not take me, because me, yeah. And then she told me also about another institution, the Tshwane University of Technology. And again, it was 1994. During best times in South Africa, transformation times, affirmative action was happening. So that actually kind of helped me. I got in and I studied ballet, national diploma in ballet. And I was actually so afraid because you know I'm from Gugulethu. So from Gugulethu, a Kakiad, right, straight to Pretoria. You know Pretoria back then, Afrikaans was the language. And also going from my Gugulethu Forum house to actually have your own room in school was also a shock. Hello, I'm a Gooks girl, you know? So I didn't have my own room. This was a shock for me, yeah? So going to that school, I was scared, and I was the only black girl in the corridors. And the only black girl was, if you remember, Liseko Motsepe, who passed away. She was the other black woman who was there. And she was actually they would used to call them a haka. Those days. I don't know if you know the house committee, yeah? So I was happy to see a black woman. So I actually clinged on her because she was the only person that I could actually speak English. Not even Tswana, because I'm not Tswana. I'm Xhosa, so I could not even speak Tswana. So it was not only the language, it was also many other things. The color, race was difficult to talk to people, to kind of relate to them. Everything was different, from Gugulethu to Tswana speaking, Afrikaans speaking, sitting, all of that was kind of like a mess in my life. And then I asked myself, what am I doing here? I called my ballet teacher. I said, why did you bring me here? I do not belong here. I do not want to be here. I want to go home. I hate it here. And she was like, no, Mamela, that will be your ticket to many other things. Please just do it. And I said, but already they told me that I don't fit in. In few classes I've had, they said, wow, you're not gonna make it. Wrong structure, wrong color, you are big. I've never been told I'm big in my entire life. Never been told I'm big, but there I was big. And when I looked in the mirror, I saw myself, should I have a bum? But that was my life, also that's how my work was actually constructed as well. All of my works growing up in this industry and actually talking about, I must not have a big bum. That was one of my other works where I was writing throughout. I must not have a big bum. I must not have a big bum. Because I was told that I have a big bum as a black woman. So, and then I remember also not going to school and banking because, hello, you're not happy. When you're not happy as a young student, you don't want to go to school. And when they talk Afrikaans, you don't understand, you sleep in class. So I was just this rebellious one. Like, they thought I was rebellious, but I was not rebellious, I was just not happy. They were not speaking my language. They were not actually accepting my body. They did not understand why I was there. And they even told me that you never make it as a dancer. Go get a rich husband, you're so beautiful. I was told that. So, but that also made me stronger as well. Sometimes they think they break you, but they make you stronger. Because you tell yourself that, you know what? I'm gonna do this shit. And I did it. I got my diploma, with flying colors. It was hard. It was very hard. I look at you now, you are all mixed. It was not like that. I was the ugly duckling in class, doing ballet. I think sometimes people don't understand why I created the work that I've created. It's because of the experiences that I've actually encountered in my life as an artist. So yeah, that was my life. But I love that place. I'm back there now. I love it. Yeah, I love it. I'm back there now. I finished there in 96, and I actually went back there to teach, So you must understand that all of these things that happened, they actually made me stronger as a woman, And you also look back, you go like, wow, you did it, It was hard. It was very hard. And I was actually one of the first from my class who made it to the first audition outside of school. Auditioning with all those that were the best, the best students most, So I went out there, we all go and we went to the State Theatre where I am today, to actually audition. It was the Pact Dance Company then, and then it became the State Theatre Dance Company. And I was the only one who got in. But then again, it was those transformation times. But then I don't actually use that as an excuse. I was a good dancer. I'm not afraid to say it. It was not because of my color. But many people who were actually white thought it was because of my color. No, I was a good dancer. I'm not afraid to say that. I was one of the best dancers those days who were black and were actually kind of like coming up. And we were few, We were very few. And of course, I got all the best jobs because they needed this color.
Thanks, Mamela. Now, obviously you're not afraid of breaking the codes of ballet, right? So when we see you, we can see the elegance of the dying swan and the classical swan leg, but also ballet in a shocking pink tutu coupled with the strength of your body, black body, using sound, using, all kinds of things, right? Which are your most important influences which led to you radically deconstructing the normal kind of expectations of who qualifies as a classical ballerina?
I think because I was not accepted, so I had to fight everything that was not me and make it me when I'm creating, because you didn't accept this. As ballet dancers, we were not allowed to talk. You speak like this. So all of that was like, why can't I'm actually said I don't fit in that. So let me make it me. Let me do me, because you don't want to do you. Anyway, I'm not you, I'm me. So that made me to break all their codes, cracking their codes. And you cannot crack it if you don't know it. You will crack it if you know them. You have to study it in order for you to become you. So by me studying their ballet, it made me to deconstruct everything that was ballet and make it, and twist it. I've twisted it. I've turned it upside down. And I did not do, I spoke about it actually. to talk about all those tutus. Actually, I was showing my bum what you were not supposed to do. You know, I was showing everything that I was not supposed to do about ballet. I was doing all the wrong things. To say, yeah, I don't fit here, then let me do the wrong things. By doing that, then I was actually doing me, because you did not accept me. So pink tutus were shockingly pink. And also, you were not allowed to touch the tutus. So I had to do everything about the tutus I'm not allowed to do. To say I can do this. Say sing like cake, because also the tutus look like cake, like a decoration. So I had to play with that sing like cake. We're never gonna stick at this. So I was playing with all of that because I was not allowed to do that. So I had the freedom, which actually made me in creating works. And that's why actually I became who I am today, because I actually had to deconstruct something and crack that code. It's about cracking the code, not doing them, do you. Yeah.
And then you won the scholarship to Alvin Ailey International School for Dance in New York. What were your most important experiences there, and how did it shape your career?
Well, it was good to be in a school surrounded by black women too. I didn't feel like the other. I felt like I was one of them. I was not the only one with a big bum. We all had that bum that was cute and beautiful. So it was nice to be at the school, and also just for them to look at me as a dancer in a different way than I was looked at home. And also that's when my first solo was actually created, the Dying Swan, you know, with my other teacher, because when she saw me, she saw a swan. I became the swan. And that was actually beautiful to be associated with a ballet show called the Swan Lake, you know. Yes. So I became this bird, the swan. And I mean, of course, my beauty fits in now as well, because I was also beautiful, looked like as a swan. I was exotic there as a black woman from Africa. So that as well, you know, we are always exoticized somehow. Either you're at home or you're not at home, there will always be that thing of like, oh, she's African, she's doing ballet, she's a swan, she's beautiful. You become exotic, either you like it or not. Yeah, so that was great, because also I was African and everybody wanted to be associated with me, because they think I work with animals around at home. Still? Well, that was 98.
Yeah.
That was 98,
okay.
Yeah.
Okay, and then Debbie Turner has said of you that the great thing about working with you as a choreographer is that you always bring a different edge, a different conversation with regards to idols, and your other works, for example, Stand Corrected, Shift Apartheid, are unapologetic critically of South Africans' race, class, gender, sexuality, politics. What is this different edge and conversation that you bring to South African dance? But before you think of that, we're going to show the video of I Stand Correct, one of the videos. I love it. I love it.
Is it not repeating? Not repeating.
They know what they're doing. It is, eh?
Okay, set.
The
You want me to talk? Well, I guess that's a
Okay,
jump from
let me-
Kukule too.
Yes.
Because we used to play in the streets as well and say, on your marks, get set, go, and race in the streets of Kokoletu. And we used to play with rounders when we used to duck the balls. So I used all of that in my work. So basically, there's nothing new. It's not in your books, yeah? It's not, I was not actually taught how to do that, yeah? It's not in your books, but yeah. It's in my book now. Yes. So yeah, I mean, becoming edgy, I guess, is also what I have experienced. And I think as an artist, you can never copy what has been done and paste it to your work. In order for you to be original, you need to go somewhere else and create something new and not copy and paste like the generation of today. They're so lazy. They copy and paste. You know? I think also these works are drawn into all the social ills that are happening in our country. They're still happening even today. I know today we're saying enough is enough. I mean, imagine those works we've done. I did them a decade ago, but still they're still relevant even today. And yeah, it's just we've been preaching about these ills that are happening, and still nothing. And the younger generation as well is still doing this kind of work, talking about these ills, and nothing is happening. I don't know what needs to happen. You know, I know many people have many questions or have many protests, and we're repeating the same thing. What is it that we need to do? Do we need men to go protest now or what? I don't know. It's like it's just, yeah. We've been talking about this as artists, and again, we as artists become the window. You know, because these works, all of my works have actually been performed outside the country. I didn't perform like my body of work at home. I've done, but not a lot, you know. It would be different festivals, not seasons, but I would say, I guess it's because my works maybe were too ahead to be understood. And right now, I can't perform those works, I'm too old. I don't even perform like that now. You know, the latest work that I do now, I probably more of an image than dancing, than moving. But that's just how you grow too as an artist. You don't repeat yourself. But you'll find people saying to me, "You're no longer dancing now." I said, "Hello, I'm over 40s. Do you think I'll dance like that?" You've missed it. Yeah. You've missed it. Right now, you just have to look at it there because you're not going to see me doing that. I'm too old for that. You know? I mean, the latest work that I'm doing right now, I'm just on the stair and just sitting throughout the piece, enjoying myself. That's what you do when you grow older, you enjoy yourself, you know? Not that I'm enjoying, but I'm talking about things, but I'm just saying it becomes minimal and minimal and minimal, you know? Because you've done a lot, or else you'll be repeating yourself too, you know? So yeah, I don't know what to say. I guess I'm talking a lot about my work to a point where I don't even know what to say. When you said I'm gonna be asked questions, I was waiting for the questions, so I was not expecting to talk. I'm a performer, I don't talk.
Mamela, you're doing well. No, well, in terms of us enjoying it and learning from you. Yeah? Mm-hmm. Thank you.
Okay.
Yeah, thank you very much. In 2017, you and others, you spoke about the protest. So you guys staged protests against Flair de Cup Awards with regards to the lack of access to mainstream theatres in the country. What does it mean for you, space and access? Particular performance, black, of colour, and in this sense in South Africa. Did the protests have an effect, and what was your kind of reflection on that?
I guess sometimes we kind of like to talk and not do the talk. So I was tired of us always kind of complaining about the awards, complaining about this and not doing anything about it. So, and also just as artists, we don't have the sense of belonging at home. So I was talking also because I'm always packing my suitcase. So there's no space for me to perform that work at home, because also it's regarded as edgy, it's regarded as I can't access her work, I don't understand her work. There's always an excuse, you know, because you will never be regarded as an artist unless you have a different color at home. They can repeat their works over and over and over, but your work you will see there and there and there, you know? And they're still doing their works even today, even those who created work 15 years ago, they still perform those works. You know, and you ask yourself, if the younger generation have not seen us doing this, then why are we called artists? Why are we not actually doing something? So that's what actually drove me to do the protest with other 3 girls. And this protest was supposed to be many other artists. Again, they don't want to do something, they just talk. Yeah? So we ended up being 4. We were supposed to be the whole artists from Cape Town, like a group of artists. But only 4 women came. And then we decided to just march and say, hey, we need access to these theatres. We belong to this country. We want to have a say to these theatres. We also want to be acknowledged in these awards at home, because we are artists. If you don't want us to belong here, where must we perform our works? You know? So that's why that's why we protested at Artscape. One of the, the mainstream theatre.
Yes.
And I'm scared of calling these names because already I'm in a case about tarnishing a name. So I must be careful about calling this name, but I don't give a shit. They don't put our works on stage. I know I'm going to be in trouble because I stand here as the deputy of the South African State Theatre.
And?
Well, I'm here as a deputy, you know. So, and I think there's nothing wrong with me to be in an institution and keep quiet now because I'm there. Why am I there if I'm going to keep quiet? I am there to speak for all those who cannot speak, you know. I know sometimes we get to these positions and we relax. I think we should get to those positions and use our voices even better, because that's when people are going to listen to us. Because our voices were just like flies. Right now, I'm sitting there on the 11th floor. I should say something as a woman, then not just keep quiet and enjoy the money. No. It's not like I'm enjoying the money anyway, it's government, I'm just doing the work. I'm doing the work. I was getting paid better outside. As an artist, I sacrificed my artistic work for artists at home, but nobody sees that. I have sacrificed. I was not struggling. Yes, I grew up struggling. But as an artist, I was actually getting work. I was getting employed. I was traveling, but I got tired. I got tired of passport controls. You know, they stop you and say, what are you doing? I mean, I don't transport drugs, I transport art. You know? I don't transport drugs, I transport art. But still, I'm stopped. How long are you gonna? I got tired because I've been doing this for almost 2 decades now. So my body is like, I'm tired now. And also, you don't create works because you just want to create. You create your works because you want your work to sustain you. It's your bread and butter. So I was actually sustaining myself as a mother, as an artist, as a lover, as a family. I needed to put food on the table. So I was doing this work because I had to survive. If I was not doing this work, I could have said, no, I don't want to travel, but I couldn't. I would get home and I had to leave and my kids were crying. It's not nice. It's not nice. Some people would think, oh, she's having it. Of course, I'll play it as if it's nice because I don't want people to think that it's not nice. That's the industry. Sometimes you just have to close it and say, yeah, I'm going to Germany, yeah, I'm going to Switzerland, yes, I'm getting money, yes, but at home it's not nice. And in those passport controls, it's not nice. And waiting for your flights, flying all over during your birthday, you are at the airport stuck there the whole day, it's not nice. So there are things that were not nice about it, but I had to survive. And also, I tried to even apply for a job at UCT. They didn't take me. They said, you're a traveler. To be a lecturer, teaching dance, choreography, creative art. No, at home there's no place for me. Hence also I created the work De-Apartheid. Yeah, De-Apartheid, I was talking to these institutions. So that's how I create my work. Whenever something happens, I become creative. Whenever something happens, I become more creative. I don't know. It's just how it has been. And right now, yes, I'm sitting at the State Theatre. I haven't been creative now because I'm sitting down. But it's not because I don't want to now, but also I was tired of creating me. I was creating me, of course also, I cannot afford 20 people. Funding as well, yeah? Because at some point I had to produce my own work. I go make money, I can't create work. Yeah? Because I want the work to sustain me. So basically, right now, I'm sitting again, waiting to be given a platform to create for a group of women or group of artists. Because that's where I need to direct work now for people, isn't it? So I'm there now, waiting to do that. And I hope I can be given that opportunity to create on others and just do what I want to do, what I love to do. Because also creativity keeps us alive. You cannot put an artist behind an office and starve them of creating, And I mean, that is why I'm still performing. Because also I need to keep my soul alive, or else I'll die. Yes. Because I survive by performing. So if I don't perform once or twice a year, right now, that was my agreement to say, if I take this job, you must know good I'm a performer. If I take this job, you must know I'm a performer, so don't deprive me of that. Yeah? I want to be home. I don't care where I perform. You can be home too, But still, it's hard to perform at home. I do perform, but at the same time now, I feel like I'm in a different position to do me. I can't do me now. Hence, I'm empowering young women. And I'm happy to do that because I'm still serving. It's not like I'm sitting down. People think I'm not happy there. I'm happy because I'm still serving artists. There's a difference of sitting down and not serving artists. I'm happy because I'm still serving artists. And by serving artists, I feel like it's a call. It's a calling that I was supposed to do as well. Because I'm done with me. But you never finish you. You never finish you until you go underground. So I will not stop performing, because even directors who are in this position, they still direct, isn't it? Mm-hmm. That's what keeps them alive, isn't it? Why am I going to be questioning when I'm there that I can't perform? Because that was my major performance, isn't it? Mm-hmm. And I still direct too. And I still can choreograph too. But they don't want to see having all those hats. You can perform. That doesn't mean because you went in there, you're not a performer, then you must actually just direct only. No. I still need to be given that opportunity to perform still. Because you have not seen me performing live, am I lying? Some of you? Isn't it? So why must they close that? I must be given once or twice to perform. And create, and direct, but I will not do it there. I must do it outside. Because I'm not there to serve me. I'm there to serve you. You understand? But some people go to these places to serve themselves only. To serve themselves only. And we need to actually balance something. Yes, we go in there to serve people, and we have also part to do, but we must be careful how we overdo ourselves in these institutions. We are there to serve the people. We are public servants, you know? So I know I talk too much, you must stop me.
No, Mamela, you know, this is
I've been
so
told
great.
that.
No, this is so great, you know, because there's a lovely synergy, because everything you're speaking about are some of the questions we asked anyway. You know, so, no, I'm very pleased about that. Yeah.
You must tell me I talk too much. I don't just dance too much. I'm that dancer people say she talks on stage. She doesn't dance on stage because I'm expected to just dance and not do anything. I think we're a different breed of dancers. We're not those who taught us how to dance, who told us not to do this. We are breaking all those codes. So yeah, because we're not the trust fund babies, we become the trustees.
So what did it mean for you to win the Standard Bank Award for Dance in 2011?
It was amazing, it was great. I didn't see it coming because also it came right when I was about to turn 35. So it just came on the edge. I mean, at home you must be, as a youth, you are a youth till you're 35, isn't it?
Yeah.
So I mean, I was excited. I was like, wow, thank God it's about time. You know, I mean, sometimes you feel like, why can't we be recognized at home, you know? I must not only be recognized outside of my country, I need to belong here. I need to have a sense of belonging here. But if we're not going to have that at home, then we feel lost as artists. If there's one thing as an artist that they don't want to know, you don't want to feel like an outsider in your own home country. That can kill you as an artist. I know artists who are committing suicide because of that. Who are not happy. And because your work is not seen, you see others doing your work. And that we've done before, that kills an artist. Because you have never actually recognized that artist. And now you are doing their works or you are copying their works in front of them. And you are getting recognized and they were never recognized. That kills an artist's soul. Because we create from the heart and from the womb. So that can kill someone. So it's good to be recognized at home. It's the best thing. Yeah.
It's a very hard time that we're living in at the moment, now with rape and violence, a young woman dying. We've all survived that, and you have too, yeah? Can you tell us how healing has worked for you, especially in your performance Hatched to Commemoration, Ties with your mother, and your work with HIV at the University of Stellenbosch? There's also a theme of healing, you know, and maybe if you can talk about that for us, how dance works and your work, your creative works with healing.
I think as artists, we are healers. Because when you put work on stage, we're there to heal others and healing ourselves. So being on stage and actually having had a trauma of my mother, because my mother was also raped and killed. So that became a thing of like, who am I to sit down and not talk about this in my art? Maybe that was her sending that to me to talk about it. So I guess all of that has healed me, even her, my mom, my late mom, and also those who watch us. Because we become prophets without knowing that we are prophets. Because also when we're on stage, we are not alone, you know? So we are carrying people with us that are actually sending us to be on stage to heal others. So by being on stage, I never go on stage without getting sick. And after performing, I never leave the stage without feeling empty. Because I've opened myself to a whole lot of strangers. And to come back to reality, you don't even sleep because you're still on another level. So that makes you carry a lot of things with you. So you're not just going on stage to entertain people. That is why I say I'm not an entertainer. I'm an artist. There's a difference between an entertainer and an artist. So basically, being on stage, that is why I was saying, I cannot be deprived of performing because I also heal myself when I'm on stage. And it's important as an artist who sits behind an office to still do their work, you know? To, even if it's once or twice, to still, because you heal your soul. Because right now, when we don't perform, those who have given us that gift, they get angry with us. You know, because, hello, you can't just sit down and do nothing. you need to go and perform, you know? So it's like a give and take with the audience and the people and us and those who have sent us to do this job, because sometimes, somehow, I feel like there is a call attached to it. Either we like it or not, there is something. You cannot go on stage alone and actually draw people to you and you think you are alone. You are not alone. You know, you are with them and they accompany you. That is why after performing, you get sick. But nobody knows that, it's behind stage. You know, nobody will know that because you perform and then backstage you get sick. And even sometimes before perform, because there's many energies. And those energies come to you. And they feed onto you. And if you're a real artist, you feel them, you go home, you get sick. But I never understood that. Growing into it, I got to understand it. I got to understand it because it's a process as well. It's a process, you know? Yeah.
Taking it to the video. We're going to show the video hatched now.
This is how we use our ballet. If we cannot create our ballet, we have to create our own ballet. That's how it happened as well, you know? Yeah.
Okay. You cited as swearing a lot. in your videos? Is it because you get a lot of stupid questions, or is it because you're rooted in frustration?
Which video?
You can't remember?
Which video?
I can't read.
Shift. Oh.
The end.
Well, I mean, this is life. Life, people swear at life, in life. Yeah. We all swear. Don't we?
That's what I'm looking for. That's what I'm looking for.
It's not like I'm angry, it's life.
Yeah,
you know?
that's it.
Art is life, life is art. You cannot separate the two, you know?
That's it. Okay, keeping in, there are young women in the theatre, in the dancers, theatre practitioners in the audience, and for whom you have seen, you've carved a path for many of us, right? What advice would you offer young women about to enter the field? And how can women support each other going forward?
How do I say that? I think, people just need to be crazy as artists. You just don't have to be the normal person and do things the normal way. Just try and go off the book. Learn from the book, but go away from it, because the book is not done. I always say the book is out there, it's been done. Learn from it, but if you want to be an artist, take a different route. A route that you also don't even know when yourself. Because if you know it, then it's been done. You understand? So that's my advice. Never do others. Try to come up with something that is uniquely you, authentically you, that speaks to you. If you don't do you in the industry and copy others, then you're not an artist. Then you are actually just copying and pasting. It's like writing and copying and pasting. It's the same, even in art. It's like singing like Beyonce. Why sing like Beyonce but you've got your own authentic voice? So use your voice. You know, you can't be copying the others in America. It's like copying the dance in America, or the dance that is contemporary dance, all of that. I've learned that, but I refuse to do that. It's not me. I was told actually it's not me, so I'm using it. It is not me. Why must I do something that is not me? So I had to come up with a language and use it to talk about it, make a statement about it. Making a statement about point sheets, those for me were like tools of oppression. But those tools of oppression are made them in artwork. Make a statement about something. Talk about it rather and say something about it. If you use it in your work, just try to tell us something about it. Don't just do it as it was done. That's my advice. Try to be authentic. Try to be unique. You are fresh. You are young. You are the youth. Break what has been done there by us. Do not repeat us. Learn from us, but crack that code and take it somewhere else. Because the code is there. Crack it and take it somewhere else. Because I feel like there's a lot that the youth can do. But the youth is so lazy doing gadgets all the time. I don't know, I'm bad with that, yeah. But that's just my advice. To be unique, to be you. Express art the way it has never been expressed. And if you think about it, if anyone does something new, unknown, people talk about it. I did a work in Grahamstown 2011 for my Standard Bank Young Artist Award. I think I had most of the audience walking out. Half of the audience walked out because they were like, what is you doing? But you have spoken as an artist. You have done something different. You have made them uncomfortable that they could not even sit down and watch that. And for me, if I was young, I could have stopped, but I was like, yes, it is art. I'm not here to entertain you. I'm here to make you get off those seats and walk out, basically. When you walk out,
It's a statement.
when you walk out, I've made a statement. And you know what? It was the most talked about work in Grahamstown 2011.
Yes.
I mean, even someone came to me during long table, wanted to she was angry because I was like running throughout the piece in a circle with a fan, and I performed with my back to the audience throughout the piece. They didn't even know that it was me. They thought it was my brother, because I became the man. You know, when you go into a role, you become the role, you live the role. So I became a man in the piece. And then she was angry because they were here to see the Standard Bank Young Artist in dance, to dance for them what they want me to see, what they expect of me as a dancer, you know? Sometimes just take them off because you're an artist. You're not just a dancer, you're an artist, you know? So that happened, and those things are sometimes what are going to make you an artist as well. Even though you might find them, oh no, I can't do that. Sometimes, another advice, don't share your ideas. Do your idea. If you share your idea with your friends, they're gonna do it. That's another advice. You know who I share my ideas with? Someone that I've stripped naked next to. Or my family only. But you must also trust that person that you strip yourself naked next to. But as I say my ideas, my family. People who are not in the industry. People who are not artists. Don't share your ideas with artists. I don't share my ideas with artists. I just like keep quiet. What are you doing? Hey, I'm still working on it. I don't know. Because when you share, they do it. You know, they do it. But then I realized that whatever I've shared, oh, there goes my idea. The person that you actually think it was, that's another advice. Do not share your ideas with artists. They think they're so clever, they're going to even say, what is that? And it's actually the right way to go. The idea that everybody else doubts is the best one to take. Even at home. I do things at home, and then my aunt is going to call, are you going to do that? And my aunt says that, I'm like, I'm going to do it, my aunt. Because it's actually something that's making them uncomfortable, because they said, you can't do that. I'm like, you're not going to do that. Because I did the apartheid, I put my Bible here. And I fucked the Bible on stage. Because it has fucked me. Yes! Was fucking it back. Sorry the language. But this is something that my family would say, you can't do that. But I know I must. And believe me, I did not grow up without religion at home. I am deconstructing what I know. You must understand that. Yeah? So I know that I went to church, I grew up in church. I know that Bible. It's a gun. You know? So yeah. So sometimes it's about those ideas you talk about, to say, oh, I want to do this. Do not talk to artists. They're too clever for you, yeah? Artists are too clever.
Not clever.
They think they know it all, and they're going to try and say, you can't do that. And you must. That's the idea you must take. You must go that off route as well. Yeah.
Okay, thank you. Okay, that is a nice step into our little Marcel Proust, Bernard, Pivot, James Lipton, art on our mind questions. They go fast, né? So you just, whatever comes into your mind. Okay. What delights you instantaneously? One second.
My woman.
Okay. What's your pet peeve generally?
I'm sorry, I'm losing
your pet peeve, yeah? Something you don't like, things that irritate, frustrate you.
Academias.
Okay, what's your least favorite color?
I love all colors, especially the rainbow color.
Do you have a favorite book or writer or artist or dancer or anybody that you'd like to be?
A book right now, the book, what is it? I don't give a satwa about, what is it? Shit, I'm reading it. The satwa not giving a fuck. The satwa not giving a fuck. Yes, that's my book that I'm reading right now. I love it. I love the title as well. Yes.
Who is your favorite dancer?
Mamela Nyamza.
Quiet now. Yeah, what? Your Your son. Okay. Do you have a favorite dance move?
Dance?
Move. Do you have a favorite dance move?
Yes. Standing still.
Which dancer or dance movement do you despise?
Those contemporary shapes that go up and down.
What kind of songs get you going?
I'm an old soul, eh? I like Nina Simone's and just chill.
Me too. Okay. What's your
Dance on
favorite?
Azai, the Broadway, you know? Yeah.
Okay.
And Synthway Done.
Period. What's your favorite word?
Yeah.
What's your least favorite word?
I can't.
I can't. It's 2 words.
Can't.
Oh, can't. Okay, what turns you on?
My woman.
What turns you off?
Rapists.
What makes you laugh?
My kids.
Okay. What's your best virtue?
Life is too short. True. Life is too short. Live it. It's too short. You don't know what's going to happen tomorrow.
Okay. What's your idea of misery?
God. Misery.
Yes, that's it. Is that you said it?
No. My idea of misery, my God.
Maybe you have not.
When I can't get that idea, I get miserable. When I'm creating and don't get that thing that I want to get to, I get miserable. Like this. That's like, shit. It's like, fuck.
That's the other favorite word. Okay. Oh God, Mamela. Okay, let's. What sound or no, you know? What profession other than your own would you like to attempt?
I would like to be a motivational speaker.
Okay, you are.
Oh, I already am.
Yeah.
Okay. I think because I've been so scared of talking, and the more I'm talking now, the more I would love to speak to young people. You know, because I feel like sometimes they need to hear our stories, and I feel like our stories are not told the way we would like them to tell them ourselves. So that's something. You know, I realize that sometimes we've got a lot to say, so that they understand that we did not just shoot; it was steadily like that by steps. So they need to know that it was not easy as well, you know. So I feel like that's something that we as Black people need to do to other young Black people who are growing up, because they don't see us as role models. Because everything that was done by us was never taken important. And I mean, I'm talking as a ballet teacher.
Yeah.
I was never regarded as a ballet teacher because I was Black. I had to go teach kids for my practicals. All the kids look at me like I'm their nanny. So yeah. So in a way, I feel like sometimes we need to be given those opportunities to actually groom the younger generation that's coming after us.
Okay, what sound or noise do you love?
Pardon?
Sound or noise do you love?
Sound or noise that I love. The sound of nothing. Nothing.
And the sound or noise that you hate?
As a dancer, I don't think I hate anything that is sound, because I probably would like it because it's annoying.
Yeah.
I like to annoy.
Yeah. You are the sound. Okay, and then what is the profession that you would like not to do?
Not to do. Profession that I think I hate blood, so I don't like to be a
Stuff
doctor.
with blood. Okay. And then, what's your favorite swear word?
Well, you've had it today.
Okay. How would you like to die?
Are you serious?
It's fun and cooking.
I would like to die on stage.
Okay. If heaven exists, what would you like to hear God say when you arrive at the pearly gates?
Thank you.
Okay, we're going to open up for questions. Are there any from the audience? Do you have any questions? I shouldn't even ask the question. Bushley? Okay, yes. So one here, one there. Do you want them one or two?
One, yeah.
Okay, one more. Yes. Oh, yes.
Thank you. I've got goosebumps. I love you. I just want to say I love you. I love you so much. And I love your work. I especially is it passion because you didn't look at the audience. You chose not to follow the procedures or whatever they call it. No, I love you.
Thank you. Thank you. Thanks a lot. Thank you. I love you too. Thank you.
Up that, yes, there, yes, yeah. Yeah.
I just wanted to say I appreciate how much you trust your gift. You trust what you're doing so powerfully. It's so inspiring to know somebody who knows their company and they're safe and they can take any risk and they're fine. It's just powerful. Thank you.
Thank you.
Oh, they're going, yeah. I see you.
Hi, how are you? Well, I saw you at State Theatre, and I've seen the curatorship work that you did there. Well, I must congratulate you, it was actually wonderfully done. I just want to find out from you because there's some elements of artistry that you mentioned. And you mentioned people plagiarizing, copying, and just copying and pasting, basically. So I just want to feel from you that your perception of the overall festival, the different women from different walks of art genres and performance and whatever, did you feel like there is growth or is there stagnation and this copycat mentality from these artists that you have put together to kind of showcase the Mavasati Women's Festival?
Okay, right now I will speak as a curator from the South African State Theatre, different head. I feel like the younger generation, when they create, they have people that they look up to, which is good, and they can be inspired by them, which is good. But then they need to have a kind of a parameter where you actually, how far can you go in terms of doing what you've seen? How far can you take it? Are you stretching yourself or are you repeating? Are you really copying like 9-9, So basically, I mean, as a curator, I still find that people are still doing works that look like Gibson Kenter's works. That's a classic. I don't mind watching Gibson Kenter's work, today because it's a classic. But when I see a younger person creating a work and still doing a work like that, I get, why are you new? Why are you young creating that kind of work? Like that? Because you need to find a new voice that is inspired by that, but differently. But when you're still creating works that are still the same, like in the 80s or 70s, what are you doing as a young person creating work on stage? You know? I mean, sometimes we have people of veterans, veterans' works. The veterans' works will always be there. And it's okay when a veteran creates a work like that because he's a veteran. That person is a veteran. But when you're young and you're still doing work like that, where are you going? Are you stretching yourself? Are you going to a new space? Are you going to the unknown? Are you tapping into something new? You need to ask yourself these questions when you're creating. Am I doing something new? Look at yourself, put yourself out of the work, and watch the work as if it's not yours. To say, am I going to a new space? Because if you feel good you are doing something like so and so there, then you are not. Then scratch that and do it again. It's like writing and keep up like throwing papers. Do that with your work. Throw it away. Try again. Try it differently. Start from the back. Start in the middle. Start somewhere else. Don't start the work everywhere the way they started. Who said the work must be cold and grow there and what? Who comes up with that? Break those things. That people like to do things the way they've been done. The way they've been done. Me not facing the audience, why must I face the audience? I'm on stage, I'm alone, you are looking at me. I don't have to look at you and say, look at me. So it's like those things, like, okay, you don't want me to face there because they said I face the back. They were watching my back. I've got a beautiful back, watch it. So you can also, the back can talk. The back can talk too. Why can't you do the whole work facing the back? Why can't you do the whole work quiet? Who said we need music to move to? We ended up being so lyrical, following the music. But sometimes, no music. You create music yourself. I cried throughout this piece. I was wailing like a woman was being raped. The wailing change becomes masturbating. The wailing change becomes a siren. The wailing change becomes many things. Just like woo, 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 and then it becomes other things. So it's like you go to spaces that are also even like, when you think about it, you go like, oh my shit, I do that. But it's okay. You need to go exactly there. Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Well done, you're original, you are real, you are yourself. Keep it up, I'm very proud of you. I want to ask you this question. When you do things, you act contrary to societal expectation, contrary to family expectation, like breaking the norms. How do you manage stigmatization when, for example, your family members say, no, you can't do this, and you say, this is what I want to do? And sometimes it looks like you're breaking the rule, you're going against societal norms, going against parental norms, going against religious norms. How did you manage stigmatization? How did you manage what we frankly say, les ondines? They say, don't you, am I going to keep standing? I just want to know, thank you.
I think sometimes when you just perform something that is against the rules or breaking the rules, it's always hard because after the show, people look at you as if you are not normal. Hence, I don't want to go to the audience after the show because I know what I've just done. I've just actually made them uncomfortable. But then sometimes you have to face them. And even the family, I have to face my family and my family. And I actually explain it to them, And my family now they know me now. It's like, even though I'm going to do something, they know me. Though we know this one, it's her, she's going to do that, And in terms of people, sometimes they give you those strange looks, but I'm getting used to them, but they can make you very shy as an artist. That is why I'm saying when you open yourself, you also now become shy. You in a way, when I'm on stage, I'm also uncomfortable as you, by the way. Yes, I am uncomfortable, but I don't mind because I know what I'm trying to say. You understand? It's like if I keep quiet and stand for 5 minutes and some people are like, when is she gonna move? When is she gonna move? I'm also saying that I wonder what are they thinking because I'm not gonna move now. I'm still gonna annoy the shit out of me. So it's like I'm talking to the audience. That's why I'm saying for me, there's never a dull moment when you're on stage. You are talking to the audience. You never stop talking. Even if you're quiet, they think you're quiet, but you are in conversation with them. And that is why some people say to me when I just perform that, do you have some shamanic what? I'm like, I'm just an artist. Maybe you see things, but I'm an artist. I'm not alone. Maybe I'm a prophet. It's like we are not alone. That's why I'm saying we're not alone. I'm doing that because I'm not alone. You know? I even say something, my mom was a rebel. So maybe I have that energy of being rebellious on stage. And my father was a barber shop, you know, you used to cut hair and everything. So I think he was an artist too. And my grandmother was an artist, she used to make dresses. So I feel like I've come from that line. And I feel like I've followed them differently, but I've taken it to another level. You know? Yeah. So I get shy, I am shy. That's why they say artists are bipolar. They say artists are bipolar. I think it's maybe true, I don't know. Yeah.
Mamela, first, just to admire your greatness and honor the people you walk with. You are a force, and there's a thing about your aura that gives permission to others to be authentically themselves. And thank you for that. There's power in one being themselves in all their quirks and nuances, however people are. But speaking to the laziness of our generation, and also for me always wanting to kind of bring it back to an intergenerational thing and an intergenerational gap, and as to how we bridge it. I wanted to find out, I know that there is the incubator at the State Theatre, but do you have someone that you are mentoring personally? Or, in essence, perhaps I don't have the words for this question, but you did say something about also wanting to be a motivational speaker, and I'm wanting to speak to that part about the laziness and about your authenticity. Because sometimes a lot of us young artists, we have grown up very afraid, or we have been broken in the industry by the very elders that we looked upon. So how do we tap out of what looks sometimes like laziness, when sometimes it is just fear or brokenness? How do we then intergenerationally bridge that gap and own ourselves in the same bravery that you have come to present and represent?
It's a long question. And let me try and answer. If I'm mentoring someone at the State Theatre,
Or
anywhere. In Cape Town, I used to run creative and workshops for artists, and I even have a page for it, because sometimes I'll be called by young artists to come and help them in their works, and I would do that. So I did that in Cape Town. In Pretoria, I am new in Pretoria in terms of the State Theatre. And what I'm doing right now, I started now doing Vavasati, the festival that we just had now. I was supposed to give a workshop, but then again, I did not give it because I felt like it didn't feel good for me to give a workshop before they know me and my work. Because I know my work is kind of not safe to just give a workshop. So what I did in Pretoria, the State Theatre, I said, let's have an artist talk. Which one, I think there's an artist was, Hannah Fanton that was at the artist talk. So basically it was me introducing myself to the younger generation that this is who I am. This is how I do things. And I would like them to know me like that before I can even tap into their works. Because also at the State Theatre, I am there to also give some dramaturg in some works, but then sometimes where I am as an artist is actually on another level, so even I'm scared to tap into young artists' works because their work is so different that I am scared to tap into that because it's different to a point where I even ask myself, how do I enter this work? Because my work is I'm not following the rules basically. And the works that I've seen where I am, there's so much of linear things, how things are being done. And I don't do that, you know? So I'm careful how I enter into people's works. I need to enter and actually try to follow them first because I cannot just take them to where I am without them going through the stages, you know? And so basically, some of the works that I've done, because in a way I'm like a quality controller. Before the work goes on stage, let me see what I can do. And sometimes I can't because it's too different, it's too vast, and where I am, if I work with somebody who's 26 years old, I remember myself at 26, yeah? I was not even at the State Theatre, yeah? I did not even have that platform at 26. I was actually performing at the backyard. I was still performing hatched, actually, you know, with nothing, yeah? So to be even given that platform is like, are you gonna sustain yourself as a young artist starting on that platform at 26? These are the questions I'm asking myself because I think it is important as young people to start somewhere else. Because sometimes you need to earn to be in big stages. I don't know if I'm making sense. Not that you can't be in the big stages. You need to earn it. I've earned it to a point where I was like, yeah, but it's good because right now I can go to a big stage because I've earned it. How do you put a young artist who is 24 years old and give him this big platform? How are they going to feel it? Because also again, to fill such a huge theater, you need to have an experience. You need to have an experience. And which is why festivals are good, because that's when you are being seen at. And then from that festival, you can be given your own platform. And to have your own platform, you must have had some kind of a language or a strong something that goes like, wow, there's some potential there. He or she deserves a platform. So I'm at a space where I'm questioning many things as a deputy sitting in that position. Is it right to give such a person this platform? Are we denting the young performers, or are we building them or grooming them or killing them? Or we are making them arrogant at a very early age? Because they need to first grow before they go there. I became a dancer for many years before becoming the choreographer. I didn't just become the choreographer. How am I going to know the steps of becoming a choreographer if I did not actually grow under the Adele Blanks, grow under the choreographers that actually taught me, you know? So basically, that is why I'm saying you need to learn in order to break something. What are you breaking from if you have not learned enough? Because right now what you're doing, you are denting the language of dance too. You are denting the language that has been out there too, because you're not even doing it correctly. You cannot learn something and think you mastered it at 24. I always look at myself at 26. Where was I at 26? Shit, I was doing a musical with Leuma Tosa on stage. Now, Dede, you know? So basically, I did that with Leuma Tosa. I danced with Leuma Tosa. I did that, and I'm not afraid to say, because I was growing, it's part of growing. I've been around. And to a point where I say, people always say to me, yo, you've been around. I said, you have to be a bitch in the industry to be known. Yes. You can't just be. It was just, I'm sorry my words, they are actually honest, they are the truth. I was a bitch in the industry. I became a freelancer, I did corporates, I did musicals, I did theater work, and with all of that, I have spread my legs, wings, as a dancer. That's how you create works as well, that's how you create language. You create language by talking. Right now I'm creating and I'm talking, but that's how it is. And you play with words in creating work, but don't mind me doing that. It's me talking language poetically as well, because I'm an artist. So yeah, it's about knowing things. So I've always had these questions of people who are so young, but they are put in big stages. What are we doing to those kids? Are we grooming them? Are we denting them? And they become arrogant, yeah? Because also, who are you, Mamela, to go and actually mentor you, that person? Because, yeah? Who are you? I don't want that person in my work. That's also the other thing of being black with black people. They don't trust what is black. They trust what is white. They don't. I've experienced it. Yeah? They don't. Not in a bad way. It's just how life is in South Africa. And we don't blame them because that's how things were done here. You know? So that is the other thing of being in these positions. How do we groom young people? From which platforms first? And not saying that they can't go there, they can. But they need to start somewhere. We were like popcorns as well. I see something there. Then groom that person. Mentor them. Tell them how to develop this work because there's potential in this work. Yeah.
Can I use your mic? Thanks. Thank you very much, everybody, for being here. I know, but we're going to 2 questions. Time. Yeah. We've run late for the whole day, so we're trying to at least get 1 time right. Give us a chance. Mamela, will you be here after? We're going to the gallery now, which is the same venue as we were, the TPO, a TPO point of order as we were yesterday. You're most welcome to join us. There are going to be performances and visual art, and you can see the exhibition, and then you can have a chance to talk to her. So, let us move to that place, and then Mamela will be with you, and then you can still speak with her. I just want to say, before you go, whenever we talk, we always say a thank you, né? So one of the things I've forgotten is that the Art on Our Mind as a research team with Charlene, and there's a group of people who actually do the research, and they do the questions, and those are the questions that I'm asking. I'm working with everybody else. So I just want to thank the people who have actually worked on those questions and helped to get this thing together, which you are part of. So thank you very much, everybody, for being here, and thank you for inspiring us.
Thank you.